first off, how did this get started? Where did this idea come from? Because this is spectacular. Welcome to Mornings on Main Street, Murfreesboro. I'm your host, Stefanie Miller. Thanks so much for joining us. We always love it when you stop by. Coming up today, we're talking with the founders of Greenhouse Ministries. We're going to learn how Greenhouse Ministries got started and how this ministry continues to give hope to so many there in Rutherford County. Not only that, they're sharing information with us on how you can be a volunteer. And if you need help getting off the benefits cliff, well, they have a grant program happening right now where they're helping 150 families do just that. We'll have that and more coming up for you. And then we head over to Oaklands Plantation. They're getting ready for a dedication and memorial that's happening this weekend to bring attention and to make sure that those enslaved on the property are remembered. We'll have more on this dedication and what's going up and what went into it here for you in a few minutes. And then our Tennessee traveler, Tom Adkinson, takes us to Waverly, Tennessee, where he talks about the Walls Art Park. The Walls Art Park is getting ready to have a paint jam this weekend, what it's all about and why artists from all over are turning out for this event.
Welcome to the Omni Nashville Hotel, urban elegance with a vintage touch. Our 800-room hotel opened up in the fall of 2013 with 746 guest rooms and 54 suites.
You can't see the sights without the sounds. From the crack of the bat to the roar of the crowd and everything in between, discover what Hit City has to offer. Spend your nights cheering on the Nashville Sounds at First Horizon Park with giveaways, fireworks shows, theme weekends, and more. Single game tickets are on sale now. Visit NashvilleSounds.com to claim your seat today.
Who wouldn't love a stuffed booster? I know I sure would, or any sort of sound swag, all of which can be found at Nashville Sounds Pro Shop. The Nashville Sounds and Main Street Media Television would love to invite you out to Sunday Family Fun Day, each Sunday home game. You can also register to win free tickets by going to your favorite Main Street Media website. Register to win, and then we'll see you here at the ballpark. Giving hope to the borough since 1999. That has been the mission of Greenhouse Ministries. We are with the founders today, Cliff and Jane Sharp. First off, both of you, thank you for letting me come into your space.
Thank you.
Our pleasure.
So first, Greenhouse Ministries. Why start this in Murfreesboro? Where did that spark ignite?
Well, it's interesting. Again, we saw a need, and you know, when you see a need, then you see what you can do to fill it. And the need that we saw was a segment of the population, which I literally did not know existed, that do not have dreams and goals and do not think they have opportunity. So we wanted to do whatever we could to help people change their way of thinking. And we knew that part of that would take education. So being a fisherman, our bait is food. And so with food, people come in. And then that gives us an opportunity to visit with them and talk to them, to pray with them, and then see what we can do about opening up classes for them. Of course, we teach all kinds of classes: computer, GED, budgeting, parenting, marriage, cooking, sewing, and on and on and on. Of what we can do to help people.
Now you're seeing some of the video now. You see their kitchen area that they have at Greenhouse Ministries, which is absolutely beautiful with all your tables and your table covering. You see the sewing room. There's also a clinic there that you're looking out. This particular space, though, this building is this is new. It's your drop-off donation spot where people can drop off donations and pick them up. That was the first building for you guys in this particular location, is that correct?
In this location,
Right.
right.
This is actually the third building. We started out in an apartments complex and working with the police and the city and housing and education. And then we moved over to a larger one, but Jane and Christy had always had a dream or vision for a thrift store. So God just opened this building up for us.
And you're seeing the Greenhouse Ministries thrift store right now. The number of items that you have in here blows my mind. And what blows my mind more than that is people who need it can come in here and get it all for free.
Exactly. Well, they go through the counselor to find out the need because it's another personal touch.
Okay.
And then they will come over with a voucher, or a counselor will come with them to help them pick out what they need. But most of that is done through the spring house, which is around the corner from here, or through the garden patch. Most of this is just storage and sorting.
As beautiful as this is, I know we were chatting a little bit before we started this interview. It's also sad to know this is how much help is needed.
Yes, yes.
What is it like here in Murfreesboro for those who need these type of donations?
Well, we see a lot of people who do not know how to go forward. They just live in a survival mode, and that's sad because they don't have any purpose when they get up in the morning, so if they can just make it through the day. So our goal is to help them discover what God put in them that made them unique and make them want to go forward.
So for those who need your help, where do they go and how can they maybe apply to start getting assistance or help with Greenhouse Ministries?
Of course, they come to the building. 307 South Academy is our new building. And then just come in and say, hey, we need help. And the great thing to tell them is we've got plenty of food and clothes. Those are the main two things that people come for. We average about 25 families a day that come through.
Wow. And for volunteers out there who are like, you know what, I have a little bit of extra time. I would love to give my time and help you guys out. How can they do that?
We have a volunteer training every Thursday morning at 10 a.m.
Okay.
So a lot of people come with their own dreams and visions, which fit in great with Greenhouse. A lot of our programs started because of volunteers, like our health clinic, our sewing class. All of those were begun because a volunteer came in and said, have you ever thought about? And we love that because we know that that's probably what the community needs. Right. But it's so easy for somebody to volunteer. They can come to that class or they can call and we can do one-on-one. And we love for them to come and bring their time and their talents.
Oh, fantastic. 2 more questions for you. If someone wants to make a donation, is there a certain type of donations that you take or don't take?
We take money.
Monetary donations would be extremely helpful.
And then, of course, in the thrift store, we take nearly anything, TVs and big entertainment centers and things like that we just cannot move them, or desks, big desks. But we take nearly anything, and then of course what we don't use we can recycle it and work with some other people.
Fantastic. Cliff, Jane, is there anything that I haven't asked you feel like people would want to hear that they need to know about Greenhouse Ministries?
Let me tell you one other thing.
Please.
And this is our new building is there. One of the visions that we've had is a program to help men become men.
Okay.
And so we have 17 apartments upstairs of the new building, and the men go through a curriculum that is designed to show them what a successful person really is. And successful is being where I want to be and where God wants to be.
Cliff, Jane, thank you so much,
Thank
not
you.
only for your time, but for sharing all of this and doing
Thank
what you
you.
do for Murfreesboro.
Our pleasure.
Thank
Thank you so
you.
much for allowing
you.
us to do
you're
this.
so very welcome. So if you'd like to know more about Greenhouse Ministries, get online. Google Greenhouse Ministries on their website. What is your website?
GreenhouseMen.org.
greenhousemen.org. Thank you again. You see that
Thank you.
website at the bottom of your screen right there. We're not quite done yet, so stick with us. We have more coming up on Mornings on Main Street right after this.
Welcome back to today's Better Health. I'm Colleen Barton, and I'm here with Dr. Gil Kentoff and Dr. Wendy Toohey, and we're talking about the latest treatments in back and neck pain.
Many people, Colleen, come to see us with neck and back pain, and they develop tingling and numbness down the arm, or lower back pain that develops into sciatica shooting down their leg. And for these patients, we have an advanced treatment technology, non-surgical decompression therapy, that we really introduced to this area. It separates the vertebrae and creates a suction to allow fluids and nutrients back in to heal the disc naturally, relieving pressure on the nerve and on the joint. It's an amazing treatment.
We've been helping patients like this for the last 30 years, helping them get back to work, get back to their family, get back to the life they want to live.
I mean, it really is amazing. Technology helping us to live pain-free and better lives.
Right.
And I bet you have a special offer.
The first 25 callers will receive an examination, x-rays, review of our findings, and their first treatment, all for $39.
Call 615-551-3897 today to receive this special offer.
Tired of hanging lights every year? We get it. That's why Southern Nights is here to help. We install programmable lighting on your home or business so you can enjoy beautiful, customizable lighting all year round. No more ladders, tangled lights, or cold nights outside. We do the work, you do the celebrating. Call Southern Nights today and take the hassle out of holiday lighting forever. For a free quote, give us a call at 931-241-3074 or visit our Facebook page at Southern Nights.
So a benefits cliff is like anything from SNAP or Families First or any of those kind of government assistances that are used to help them build their lives up. And you know, sometimes families have a hard time finding a better job because they're worried about, well, if I take this dollar more, I lose my benefit. So we're working with them over the course of 3 years, building their education, their child care, their careers, anything that they want to do in life that they haven't had the chance to do. We have 5 coaches that will walk alongside them for 3 years to help them. This grant started in November of 2022. So it's pretty fresh. We are working with numerous counties. So Davidson, Murray, Wilson, can't think of all of them, but all the counties. So if they're not in Rutherford County, they don't have to fret. We will be able to move them to a different county in reference to the other teams. So we have more county resource navigators, more coaches, more benefit specialists. I've seen a lot. So right now we have an ambassador that basically was a caregiver, but now she works with us alongside us. So she is an open testament to what this program actually really does. We've helped find childcare. We've helped her get into a new apartment. We've helped her find a better job, things like that. So now she's not worried about jumping off that cliff.
What are you hearing from her? What does she say?
Honestly, relief. So it's so good to see her come in every day with us and work. She feels normal now. She doesn't feel like, a lot of people necessarily, they feel less than, and they shouldn't. You know, everybody needs help every once in a while. But we can definitely tell just the personality change, the more confidence she has. To me, I feel like she can take on the world.
Brooke, thank you so much. Thank you for your time. We look forward to checking in with you once again. Now, for more information on the Chance Grant program, you can call Greenhouse Ministries at 615-494-0499, or you can visit their website, greenhousemen.org, for more on the programs that they offer, as well as everything else that Greenhouse Ministries is doing there in the community.
There's a lot to consider when it comes to choosing a Medicare plan. That's where Health Markets Insurance Agency can help. Independent licensed insurance agents who work with Health Markets can answer your questions about the different parts of Medicare, when you can enroll, benefits, costs, and more. Speak to a local licensed insurance agent today to get started on your Medicare journey.
I'm so excited about this new show.
Dino Trek is back again this year. It's bigger than we've ever had it before.
When they're about 5 months old, we'll start seeing them sticking their head out of a pouch, or you might see a foot come out or a tail.
It's like an Airbnb for Joey's. Now Now, you're not going to see all three of them together because cats in general don't get along unless it's time to get along, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Lions and tigers and bears.
Oh my.
Well, we're 2/3 of the way there. It's animals, nature, and fun. That's what we're all about. But during that time, we hope that you also learn something, that you're inspired to want to learn something.
What's new at the zoo with Jim Bar 2.
Catch At the Zoo exclusively on Main Street Media TV. Check our on-screen TV guide for days and times.
Vroom, vroom, time for the Rackley Roofing 200, and it is going to be June 23rd out at the Nashville Super Speedway. And we partnered up, all of us here at Main Street Media TV, and we have joined with Rackley Roofing to send you. Yep, what you got to do to win, all you got to do is go to your favorite Main Street Media website, look for the Enter to Win banner, click there, and you're in. Like Flynn. Isn't that cool? Main Street Media TV and Rackley Roofing sending you to the races.
They said I wouldn't make it without a college degree.
They said only a man could be a roofing executive.
They said a former addict always relapses.
They said my amputation would keep me out of roofing.
They said never give an ex-convict a second chance.
They said I could never be a leader.
They said I couldn't support my family as a single mom.
At Rackley, we say they're wrong.
Want to change the world? Change it, one roof at a time.
Welcome back. Evergreen Cemetery in Murfreesboro was established by Dr. James Manning in 1872. Well, right now, there are 18 unmarked graves near the center of Section M of that cemetery, but work has been ongoing to learn who is buried in those unmarked graves. And you're invited to the unveiling and dedication of a memorial to remember and bring attention to the men, women, and children enslaved on the property of Oaklands Plantation and others buried in Section M of Evergreen Cemetery. Oakland Mansion's Executive Director, James Manning and Mary Watkins, the president of the African American Heritage Society of Rutherford County, share with us some history this morning and how this dedication started and what Saturday's event will consist of.
It was sold off of the Manning Plantation by Dr. James Manning in 1872 to the city of Murfreesboro to replace the old city cemetery, also known as the Vine Street Cemetery. And this section, Section M, became the African American section until desegregation. The African Americans, enslaved people who built the plantation, have been almost entirely overlooked by history. We just haven't done our due diligence as an organization to research the members of the African American community that moved here as enslaved people with the Manning and Murphy family and began building Oaklands Plantation as early as 1815, and were likely buried here until the cemetery was sold. The burial ground, it's important to note, is not documented that the enslaved were buried here. It's accepted oral tradition, and so we would love to find more information in addition to names. And also the 1933, the cemetery office burned, and so the records were lost. And cemetery staff and other volunteers have re-inventoried the stones today, so we do have an existing inventory, but there is a lot of lost information, including the identity of this tin obelisk that's near the center of Section M. Oral tradition is that it's for an enslaved person or persons, but we can't read the writing that's on it except a large lettering at the base that appears to say Carey.
We partnered with Oakland Mansion to get this done. We felt like it was very important that we have this monument put up in memory of the African Americans that are buried here without headstones, as well as those from the enslaved from the Oakland Mansion. And I have really been interested in doing something like this ever since the African American Heritage Society was organized. Back in early 2000, I was looking for a particular person, and they did not have a headstone. And I ended up coming out here talking to Miss Brewer, and this is when she told me that M section, which I did not know, was the place that African Americans could be buried only the place that they could be buried for desegregation and everything. So, because, you know, during my time, if you had the monies and stuff, say when I got up, you could be buried anywhere, especially over there. They don't disturb this land, this part over here anymore, unless someone have already pre-purchased a grave or something like that. So, and that just, my curiosity just got with me, and I thought this was one of the places that we need to put a marker in memory of those people that are gone on before us. One thing that I done when I found out this is where people was buried, I came out here and walked the cemetery, and I found, you know, some names that I know that I was familiar with, and there was one name, family of Walter Page. You know, I wanted to know who he was, so because his whole family is buried in the same section, just a little piece from here. So I went back home and pulled it up on Ancestry, tried to figure out who he was, and I feel like he, you know, a lot of times you can look at headstones and tell that they are sort of, we look at thinking about important into the community.
I've managed to keep myself together when we're all here as a group, but I've come out when we aren't all together and shed some tears over this memorial, because it's been so many years that something like this should have been done, and we've waited so long, and we're sorry for that, but we are thrilled that it's finally here, and we hope to learn more to interpret to our visitors for the future.
If you would like to attend, please be at Evergreen Cemetery in Murfreesboro by 10 a.m. Saturday morning.
Main Street Sports Today strives to bring you the most timely and comprehensive coverage of sports news and more from Middle Tennessee and beyond.
We cover the teams you care about from preps to pros and bring some of the most influential voices in sports to keep you in the know.
Tune into Main Street Sports Today each Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. Download the Main Street Media TV app.
Hockey in Music City just hits different. It's one big honky-tonk party. It's the sea of gold in the crowd, the goals, the saves, the celebrations. It's an experience like no other. Experience Predators hockey all season long. Visit NashvillePredators.com/season tickets and join the Loyal Legion today. That's NashvillePredators.com/tickets, and we'll see you at Bridgestone Arena.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour. It was just a few cocktails at happy hour.
You really good try. There aren't any cops around.
I didn't think there were any cops around.
I drink and drive all the time.
Sir, you've been in a serious crash. I need you to hang on, okay? Cover your name, sir. Where you are right now?
Welcome back. So there is a spot in Waverly that offers artists a place to express their art. This is on 80 different surfaces that expand 15,000 square feet. It's called the Walls Art Park, again, located in Waverly. They have a fun event coming up this weekend for artists. Our Tennessee traveler, Tom Adkinson, shares with us why this art park was built and what they're going to do. So first off, Tom, thank you for joining us this morning.
Delighted to be here.
So how did you stumble across the Walls Art Park there in Waverly?
I don't mind saying I saw it first on Channel 8, WNPT's Tennessee Crossroads.
Okay, that is where you saw it. Again, I watched that same one actually when you sent the information to us to check out. What a cool way to create a free environment, a safe environment for artists.
The fellow who's responsible is named Kansas Klein. And Kansas said he had seen graffiti all over the country on his business travels. He appreciated the talent, knew that the people who were doing this were taking risks, either for getting arrested for trespassing or vandalism, and said, this is really good stuff. Why don't we do something back in my little town where they can come and do it publicly and have their art appreciated and not be afraid to do it. And that's how it came about. It was a very conscious decision from somebody who himself says he's no artist.
Really, and I would love to hear more from him. The fact that he's given this outlet to those there in Waverly. What was that? I mean, just from looking at the pictures on the website for the Walls Art Park, you can see that all of the platforms have been worked on.
Oh, yes. They started off with 28 surfaces. They now have 80 surfaces, front and back of concrete block walls. They are laid out on a hillside with a gravel trail that Kansas has put through the trees. They go up a ridge, so there is elevation relief. And it's really cool just to stroll between them. You're in the trees, you're in the shade, and they're very different one from the next. Right now, it is a beautiful portrait of Loretta Lynn. There's also an extraordinarily stylized Statue of Liberty. A couple of really weird cartoon characters. One that I assume is a takeoff on Elmer Fudd from the Daffy Duck cartoons. But there's just all manner of stuff that people have created with cans of spray paint.
And it truly is art. And just by reading some of the rules that they have. So once an artist puts up their mural, it stays up for a period of time before it's painted over again.
There's basically one rule to the artists. It says when you finish a piece, put the date in the top right corner, and successive artists who come through have to look at that date. If it's more than 30 days ago, then that surface is eligible to be painted over. Okay. So everybody who paints something gets at least a month's worth of public exposure. And then you know from the get-go, it's transient. It's not going to last.
Yeah. What is the foot traffic like there for the Walls Art Park? Do you know that?
It certainly varies. It's open 365 days a year. So anybody can stroll in anytime. There are 3 times a year when they have a party. They call them paint jams. And one of them is this coming weekend, the Saturday and Sunday, the 24th and 25th. Kansas Klein invites artists to come in, and every surface in the park is going to be redone this coming weekend. That happens 2 more times every year. And food trucks are out and people are strolling around. I'm sure there'll be a good crowd if the weather's any good this weekend.
Well, hopefully rain or shine, people will go out. I guess it is kind of hard, though, to paint in the rain.
I don't know what the spray paint world is like in a rainstorm, but I predict they'll prevail.
I'm sure they will. Again, looking forward to the paint jam this weekend. Do you know what time it kicks off?
I don't know a start time in the morning, but they'll go pretty much all day from what Kansas told me.
Was there anything else that you would like to share before we let you go for today?
Well, it has had more than its share of woes over the decades.
Yeah.
And this is a bright spot. It's just really cool for this little town. The park it's not a quarter mile off of Main Street. And it's just a great asset for a little town that could use a boost. And one of Kansas's ideas is that he wants the place to become well enough known that people will drop off of I-40, which is only 15 miles away, drive down to Waverly, see the park, and appreciate that here's a nice little Tennessee town.
Well, Waverly is a nice town, like you said. And again, I hope this continues to bring more traffic there to the area. Thank you for this. Again, the paint jam happening there at Walls Art Park this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Tom, as always, thank you so much for your time and information.
You're welcome, and keep traveling.
We will do it. Oh, I look forward to hopefully meeting Kansas in person. But again, that paint and jam happening this weekend in Waverly. Be sure to stop by.